Hi there, this is Kara, and today I'm going to review the Pinterest board compiled by Carol Ann. The name of the board is Boardmaker and Other Picture Set Resources. Carol Ann is obviously very popular. She has 1.45 million followers, and she's very knowledgeable in picture and visual resources, as is evidenced by the 130 pins that she has compiled here. Um, I don't exactly know when she started compiling them. The unfortunate part about this board is there are probably 20 to 25 that are dead ends, and you click on them and they go nowhere, or they reroute you to another site that you have to navigate a little bit. So that is a downfall of it. However, with 110 active pins, it is a very good resource. This holds primarily a combination of pins for low-tech pre-made communication boards, visuals for behavioral strategies, and visuals to supplement things like books and songs, as well as she has compiled a good number of tutorials and helpful guides for developing your own visuals. And there's a nice balance between paid materials and free materials, which is quite handy. The free materials take a little bit more to put together and a little bit more time, whereas the paid visuals and materials are right there. You pay for them, you print it out, it's done. So each has its own bonuses and its own negatives. This is Pinterest, so it is very visual and it is slightly busy for visual. Sometimes when I open up Pinterest, I can become a little overwhelmed visually. However, it does get, if we hover over here, it does block them out so we can see them and scan across very nicely to what is actually a pin. And it opens up each pin so you can see and have a look at what the source is. So the website is listed here. And if you hover over there, it gives you the exact website. You can save the pin yourself and put it in your own board, which is a nice management organizational tool. If you like this pin, you want to put it somewhere, say you want to have a whole Boardmaker board, you can move it over to that board for yourself. You can share it. You can either share the board itself or the individual pins through different social media apps, or just copy the link and email it. So those are good options, as well as share it with any friends that you might have on Pinterest. The same is true for the board itself. You can share the whole thing. Or over here, you can follow it. I was following it. You can follow the board so that every time you open up your Pinterest account, you can just go up to following and it pulls it down. So those are all handy tools that you have. Because it's Pinterest, it's very easy to make your own board. And I think for this, personally, might be what I end up doing with it is just making my own board, separating between communication boards, communication visuals, and behavioral strategies and visuals. And therefore, you can weed out the ones that are no longer active instead of getting all excited and opening them and being disappointed. So, like I said, there's a nice combination of boards. And I think there's a wealth of information here for parents or anyone who works with individuals that could benefit from or need visual supports, be it SLPs, OTs, teachers, and any support personnel. They're all low tech. So it's a very easy, quick, low cost, very little expense involved in it. You print it, laminate it to make it last a little bit longer, and there you go. In the preschool classroom that I work with in, we use a lot of visual supports, a lot of behavioral supports, a lot of communication supports. This is a nice pin right here. In this one pin, it provides quite a few of the visual supports that we use. You open it up, you go down here, they're all made, 6 per page. You can print them out. You can have them ready to go. And look at that, you've got 6 and they're all right there. And a lot of nice learning to learn visuals. It's time to be quiet. You need to sit and wait, those sort of things. Perfect resource right there at your fingertips, and very easy to give someone else if you have support personnel in your classroom that can help you out but need a little bit more guidance. There it is, it's done. There are a lot of great supports for parents to be able to open up, take a look at some pre-made boards. This is a pre-made communication board. The subject is decorating the Christmas tree. They can look at that. If they find one, what I like about all of this is if you find one that works for you, there are also tutorials in how to make your own so that you can open it up, take a look, find one that works for you a little bit but needs some adjusting. And there are pins on how to make your own board. So take the pictures that you see online, pictures that you might need, and how to use those. The nice thing about Pinterest is that each time you open a pin, my computer's being finicky. Each time you open up a board and go back into decorating the Christmas tree, each time you open up a pin, there is a summary of what you're looking at. So here is the source, and under there is communication symbols for decorating a Christmas tree. It has it right there, which is a very good, handy, quick way. You don't have to get lost in navigating things that you don't want to look at. There's some nice explanation websites. Here's one on the color key, the Fitzgerald color key, and why things are colored the way that they are. So that's a great one. There are a lot of good boards on how to use Boardmaker Plus. I have families who buy it and then they need a little bit of help, or they can do two things on it, but there's so much more that they can do. So that's a great resource. There's even a resource over here on a chart of guide to picture sets and sets for communication. So, and it lists them out, what they are, what they can be used for, how to access them. So there is a perfect resource for families who really want to know, but there's just so many questions and so much jargon that we as professionals use a lot that could be very confusing. There's a lot of free sites, a lot of opening up. This is a perfect site. Connectability, it's how to create your own. And within this website, as it opens up, there are preset sizes and preset grids that walk you through the steps on how to make your child visuals. And right there, you take a whole level off for parents in terms of stress. How do I do it? I know I want to do it. I know that they do it for them at school, but I don't really know how to do it. So that is a fantastic resource too. There are a lot of PECS related picture exchange communication system websites that are listed here. There is a really few good websites on explaining what PECS is to parents. So again, more jargon that we use, but what is it and how do I do it? Being able to send that home or just give that, here's something that we're thinking about exploring. How about you take a look on this website? It's very easy, very readable, family friendly. Here there is a site that accesses boards for songs. We do a lot of songs in preschool, so that's always nice to have the visuals ahead of time and to have them done and pre-made. There is a pin down here related to pre-made visuals for books. It's down here somewhere. I've been here many times. Right here, so familiar books, going on a bear hunt, brown bear, the visuals are right there. And that's an invaluable resource that we have a tendency to spend a lot of time working on, or we use them at school, but to photocopy it and get it all together for parents for home isn't always the first thing that we think of in the rush and the hurriedness that we have going on. So overall, this particular board is fantastic and phenomenal. It's a wealth of information. It's a wealth of resources. It is well worth the time that it takes to explore everyone, And truly, the links in this board could supply a classroom or a family with all the low-tech resources necessary to be able to include everyone in every activity. And that's really an important thing. Right here, there's a site for just ADLs, activities of daily living, washing your hands. There are the visuals to be able to do it. There's lots of opportunities to explore different visuals here. The majority of them are child-based, school-based, but everyone can benefit from a visual if needed. So there's really nothing saying that it has to be just a child that's going to use it. Overall, I see this as a resource that I'm going to be going back to many, many times to be able to supply information for parents very quickly, to be able to give information and resources to teachers or just suggestions. Even sometimes we just need a visual to see what it is we're talking about to be able to send that. So, here, this is what we were talking about. This is what I was thinking about. Check out this and see what you think. And oftentimes, once you do that for people, they take it off and they go running with it. And that's really important. So I hope you check it out. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. There's a lot of other resources here that are going to get talked about by other people, lesson picks, Boardmaker, speaking of speech. So I'm looking forward to hearing about those. And thank you very much for your time. It's been a lot of fun.